Hello, in this video I will show you how to connect Claude to a Notion database, specifically a Notion content system database. So I've started the chat saying, okay, I'm going to use a Notion database, and now Claude is waiting for me. The first thing I need to give to Claude is the ID of the Notion database that I'm going to be using. So for that, it's very easy. You go to your Notion. So here, I'm going to use my Notion content system, which is called Contentflow, that you can check out also on my website if you're interested. So here, I will go into the databases here, which are used in my content system, and the main one is ContentDB. And here, I will give here the ID of the database that I'm going to use. So basically I'm going to copy this. So once I've copied the database ID on the top here in the URL, I can now go back to Claude and tell him use DB. And he will analyze my response and automatically identify which Notion database we need to work on. So you see here, he's loaded the content database information, so he knows exactly which database we're going to be using. So now what I'm going to do is explain to Claude that I need a new instruction for Claude to register. So here, I will give him a new instruction called CP, and I say each time I type CP, with a content, you create directly into my Notion content system the post with that content and put some default values on some fields like platform X, sequence 1, status in progress, and kind equal text. And here I send that to Claude. Claude will now register this new instruction that I'm going to use later on. So here you can see it's acknowledged. He knows exactly what to do once I will type the instruction CP, which is for create post. Okay, so let me try the instruction now. I'm going to create one post for X. So I'm going to CP and then I'll type the content of the post, which is here. And Claude now will create the entry in my Notion database with this content here. And there we are. So if I check now in my Notion content database, I can see a line has been created here, etc. So new post here, default text, default sequence 1, platform is X, and it's in progress. Yes, it's right, it's in progress, which is a view here that I have in my content system. So I've successfully created a post from from Claude into Notion. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Claude to generate 10 posts on X. So in the previous video that I did, I showed you how to generate 10 posts on X with Claude. I've downloaded those here, and I'm going to use these and ask Claude, based on this file, to create 10 posts, which are there here in this file. I'm going to do that right away. So I'm going to say to Claude, CP the post in the attachment. So I'm going to attach the file here. And then ask him to analyze it and create the posts. I've got the result here. So Claude has just told me, okay, I've created those 10 posts in my Notion database as expected. So I'm going to go into my Notion database and I can see that those posts are all created. So I've got now 10 posts automatically created in my Notion database. So I can pick that from here, maybe change a few of them, schedule them, and off we go. So the great thing about Claude is it's very flexible. So for example, I've given this instruction CP, which works very well, but sometimes I might have some specific updates that I want to do. For example, here, it's created 10 posts successfully, but in fact, account, I forgot. But account needs to be one single value, which is the same for all of those posts, which is the account, the social media account I'm posting to. So I'm going to ask Claude to update those 10 lines and put account equal one single value, which is XGPB. So let me do that right away. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to make this prompt saying to Claude, update these 10 entries in Notion, set account guide GPB. So it's not the CP instruction, it's another instruction that Claude will understand automatically. So let's go. So now we're done. Claude has updated the 10 posts, confirm what he's done. And if I go into my content system, I can see all of these have been changed. So that's the flexibility. You can really do multiple things and Claude will really understand what you need to do on the Notion database, and that will save you a lot of time. So there's nothing I'm going to do here with Claude is I have in my Notion content system also an indication of the insights. So how many views, how many likes, how many comments on each of the platforms. So here I'm going to use the Threads platform, and I want Claude to analyze and give me the Threads posts which have the most views. So for example, here I would have this one here, this one and this one. So I'm going to ask Claude to here give me the 3 posts that have status published, because yes, I'm only interested in posts which are published and have the biggest values for property view threads. Property view threads, which is basically the number of views on threads. So here we go. And there we go. So it's coming out with 3 posts, 116, 38 views, 12 views. And if I look at the Contentflow here, yes, these are the 3 posts with the biggest views here in the Notion database. So yes, you can also use Claude as an analytics. So you've seen how to write, how to manage content, but you can also analyze content and do many things based on the content that you have. If you want to repurpose, you can do many things based. The more you have content stored in your Notion content system, the more you can do with Claude in terms of analytics to, maybe say, okay, write me a post based on the best 3 posts I've posted this year. You can imagine all sorts of things. So that's it. Okay, so for Claude to integrate with Notion, there's one thing you need to do before doing anything else is in Notion, you do it only once. So you go into your Notion here, settings, and you go into your connections here. And here you click on MCP, Explore, and you say connect to Claude. So once you've connected to Claude, you follow, it's a very straightforward process, then your Claude is connected to your Notion private workspace. So basically all the database that are in your Notion account, your Notion private workspace, are now accessible from Claude. So you can basically do anything you want with all your databases, not just the content system. So that's something you need to do only once. So one last thing, the connection to Claude with Notion is only possible with the Pro version of Claude. So if you don't have a Pro version, you can still use Claude to generate content, but you won't be able to connect it to Notion. So it's important, if you want to have the full flow with the Notion integration, you would need a Claude Pro account. So thank you for having watched the video. You can check out other video tutorials that are available on our website. You can also check out our products, and especially if you're interested in the Notion content system, which I used in the tutorial, you can have it. It's a free product, and then you can use it to manage your content and connect it with Claude. So have a nice day. See you in the next video.